My YouTube page. I really hope you find the content interesting. Please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and also share this content if you find it interesting. And basically spread the word. This is the only way you can support us. I really appreciate it. Enjoy your content. As in, can you relate with Nigeria ever being, does it feel like we were ever at that place where somebody would actually leave their country and come to Nigeria for medical treatment?
I think that that's an interesting question, because I've never looked at it like that before. I've always been super optimistic about the future of Nigeria, and I think there's a few simple, very, very simple things that we can do to change our trajectory. I was watching a video on YouTube, and a guy from Singapore who's like 60-something years old now was saying that when I was born, Singapore was poorer than Ghana. So it proves that in a generation, in a single generation, absolutely, people have been able to change their entire trajectories by just doing things differently. And they call them economic miracles, right? They call them these, things. The word miracle kind of means that we've not seen it before. So if you take a dead person to church and then the pastor manages to wake the person up, we'll call that a miracle. But this thing has happened in Germany, it has happened in Israel, it has happened in South Korea, it's happened in China, it's happening in Rwanda, it has happened in Brazil. Should we still be calling it a miracle anymore? It's just simple discipline. And if we can apply a few simple disciplined policies for an extended period of time, regardless of the government, I believe that we can do better than those countries.
All right, since you have Lagos, we've set the pace now, and we're going to go on a short break. When we come back, we're going to go into some of the things that we believe that, just touching briefly on the recent FBI bust, the Jumia story, and then we'll start looking at how to fix it, because that is what we try to do on Policy Thursday. Do stay with us on the Money, Business and Economy show right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Before we go into this, Doc, let me start with reading something. In a paper by Daniel Jordan Smith, an associate professor of anthropology at Brown University, who worked in Nigeria since the late 1980s, first as a public health advisor and a non-governmental organization, and later as an anthropologist. Later, he authored a paper titled "A Culture of Corruption, Everyday Deception, and Popular Discontent in Nigeria." He said, emails proposing an urgent business relationship help make fraud Nigeria's largest source of foreign revenue after oil. But scams are also a central part of Nigeria's domestic culture landscape. Corruption is so widespread in Nigeria that its citizens simply call it a Nigerian factor. Willing or unwilling participants in the corruption at every turn, Nigerians are deeply ambivalent about it, resigning themselves to it, justifying it, or complaining about it. They are painfully aware of the damage corruption does to their country and see themselves as their own worst enemies, but they have been unable to stop it. Not my words, Doctor.
So I think there's two sides to this. The first issue is sort of around our problem, and I think that we can admit openly that we do have a problem with fraud. But I also have a bit of an issue with foreign researchers coming into the country to write this about us, because no, let me tell you, it doesn't allow us to take control of our narrative, whereas these countries do have control of their narrative. So the highest level of the total volume of cybercrime is about $800 billion, and the top countries in terms of cybercrime in the world are North Korea and Russia. Do you hear about Russian fraudsters?
No.
You don't, because they've been able to manage their image. That all you hear about Russia is they hosted the Olympics and they hosted it. Yes, they hosted it well. They're doing space program.
True.
We're sending people there to go and learn. You hear about Russian culture, you hear about the ballet, you hear about the opera. You don't hear Russian cyber criminals.
Because naturally there is more of the positive going out than the negative. So even if there's negative, it drowns it out.
We're not in control of our narrative. So actually the Nigerian cybercrime contributes something like 0.5 to the total world cybercrime. It's 1.8 billion out of 600 billion. But the other people that contribute, that are far more advanced in it than us, have been able to control their narrative. So I think we do have a problem that we need to address, and that goes right from the leadership downwards, that we need to address around fraud and corruption. But we also shouldn't take that label, because there are also many positive things that young people are doing,
that,
and it can be such a great source of soft power, our arts, our music, our culture, our food. Like Chinese food is everywhere. There's a Chinese takeaway everywhere. There are no Nigerian takeaways. And our food, like even the Japanese, they managed to convince the entire world that we should be eating raw fish. Raw fish, cold. But we've not been able to convince people that they should eat jollof rice or fried rice. So I think we've done a very bad job of packaging ourselves. But on the other hand, we do have a problem that we need to address internally.
So we're going to go. I mean, this is what I'm entirely about, the narrative perspective, especially as policymakers. What we need to be projecting as Nigeria.